Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive deep into music.
Sounds good to me.
You guys sent in some really cool research articles all about music.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm super stoked to go through it all, see what we find.
Awesome.
Get ready to learn how music changes us, from our personality to what's going on in our brains.
It really is amazing how music can have such a deep impact on us.
Right.
We always talk about how music makes us feel.
Yeah.
But the really interesting thing is that those feelings are caused by real changes happening in our brain.
Oh, wow. So it's not just in our heads.
No, not at all.
It's like a real thing.
Yeah. When you're listening to music, your brain releases dopamine.
Dopamine. Okay.
Yeah. And it's this neurotransmitter that's super important for how we experience pleasure,
Okay.
motivation, and reward.
Oh, interesting.
It's the same chemical messenger that gets activated when we achieve a goal or eat some amazing food.
Okay.
So music basically uses that reward pathway, which is why it feels so good and can even motivate us to, do stuff.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I always wonder why some songs just give me so much energy.
Yeah.
Like a chemical boost.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the effects of music go way beyond just dopamine.
Oh.
Scientists have used brain imaging
Oh, wow.
to show that music activates tons of different areas of the brain,
Wow.
including the ones that control emotions, memory, movement,
Uh-huh.
and even language.
So it's not just one part of the brain lighting up, it's a whole party?
It really is. It's like a whole orchestra.
I guess that explains why music can affect us in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like physically, emotionally, and even how we think.
Exactly.
Wow.
And, the connection between music and, who we are on the inside,
Yeah.
it goes both ways.
Okay.
Music not only shows who we are,
Uh-huh.
but can actually shape our personalities over time.
I've heard about research that connects music taste to personality. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, there's this really cool study from 2021 by Dr. David Greenberg,
Okay.
where he looked at this exact connection.
Ooh.
He used the Big Five model of personality,
Okay.
which groups personality traits into 5 big categories.
Okay.
Openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion,
Uh-huh.
agreeableness, and neuroticism.
Okay, so those are the basic building blocks of personality.
Yeah, exactly.
How did he link those to our music taste?
Well, he found that people are drawn to music that fits their personality.
That makes sense.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Your favorite playlist probably shows parts of your mood,
Mm-hmm.
your outlook on life, maybe even your values.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
My workout playlist is full of high energy, powerful songs.
Yeah.
Which probably says something about how driven I am.
Yeah.
But when I'm just relaxing at home,
Mhm.
I prefer something more chill and introspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Greenberg's research went even deeper, though.
Oh.
He looked at the psychology behind those preferences.
Wow.
For example, he found that people who score high in openness to experience,
Mm-hmm.
so those are people who love trying new things,
Yeah.
exploring new ideas,
Mm.
tend to prefer more complex and different music,
Okay.
like jazz or classical.
Makes sense.
They like music that challenges them and makes them think.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I love classical music.
Yeah.
And I've always been drawn to the, complicated melodies and harmonies.
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle for my
Yeah.
brain to figure out.
I love that.
So if someone loves blasting pop music, does that mean they're a certain type of person?
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. Remember, these are general patterns,
Right.
not strict rules.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But I really want to know more about what our music preferences say about us.
Well, then I guess it's time for a genre deep dive.
I'm ready.
Let's see what we can find out.
Let's go. Okay, so let's dive into these musical stereotypes. Are all country music fans heartbroken cowboys and cowgirls? And what about us rock and roll rebels?
Uh-huh. Well, let's start with country music,
Okay.
a genre known for its, heartfelt lyrics
Yeah.
and, often kind of melancholic melodies.
Yeah.
Research suggests that country music fans tend to be hardworking,
Okay.
conventional,
Mm-hmm.
and emotionally stable people.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You'd think listening to songs about heartbreak and all that
Right.
would make people more emotional.
Yeah, you would think so.
Not less.
It's one of the surprising things they found.
Interesting.
It seems like country music, even though it has a lot of sad themes,
Yeah.
actually brings comfort and
Yeah.
a sense of shared experience for listeners.
Okay.
They maybe feel better knowing they're not alone in their struggles.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a musical support group.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, now let's talk rock and roll.
All right.
I'm a big fan of, like, classic rock and heavy metal. So I'm super curious to see what the research says about us headbangers.
Well, get ready for a bit of a surprise.
Oh, okay.
While rock and heavy metal are often seen as rebellious, aggressive, even angry, studies actually show a different picture.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Research suggests that rock and heavy metal fans are generally gentle, introspective, and creative people.
That's so interesting.
They might be drawn to the raw energy and emotional intensity of the music as a way to express themselves or just let go of some stuff.
That really changes the stereotype of the angry metalhead. I always felt like listening to heavy music is a great way to release pent-up emotions.
Absolutely.
It's almost therapeutic in a way.
I agree.
It's a good reminder that we shouldn't judge a book by its cover or a person by their music.
Exactly.
Speaking of musical taste, what about pop music?
Oh, good one.
It's the most popular genre, right?
Probably, yeah.
What does it say about those of us who love a catchy tune?
Pop music fans are often described as extroverted, honest and hardworking, with high self-esteem. They tend to enjoy upbeat and catchy music.
Makes sense.
Which might just reflect their optimistic and energetic nature.
That seems to fit.
Yeah.
I think of pop music as very social and feel good, perfect for parties and stuff.
Totally.
What about those who prefer something a bit more offbeat, like indie music?
Indie music fans tend to be creative, intellectual, and introspective.
Interesting.
Often looking for music that's less mainstream and more unique.
Right.
They really value authenticity and individuality. And you can see that in the music they choose.
So they're the deep thinkers and artistic souls of the music world?
Kind of.
I can see that. What about the people who just can't resist moving their feet to a good beat?
Yeah.
What does the research say about dance music fans?
Well, you could probably guess this one.
Okay.
Dance music lovers are usually outgoing, assertive, and open to new experiences.
Yeah.
They're drawn to those high-energy rhythms and pulsating beats that make you want to move and connect with others.
They're the life of the party.
Definitely.
Okay, let's switch gears to those who appreciate the finer things in life, musically speaking. What about classical music fans?
Classical music fans are often described as introverted, intellectual, and creative people
Makes sense.
who enjoy complex and deep music.
Yeah.
They tend to be comfortable in their own thoughts and really appreciate how sophisticated classical music is.
So they're the quiet intellectuals who are secretly running the world. Maybe. I like it.
And that's a good one.
We've covered a lot here, from country to classical and everything in between.
Yeah.
But before we move on,
I
want to talk about something that might seem a little contradictory.
Okay.
We've been talking about how music brings out such strong emotions and shapes our experiences.
Yeah.
But what about the people who don't experience music the same way?
You're talking about musical anhedonia.
Exactly. Tell me more about that.
So musical anhedonia is a condition where people don't get any pleasure from listening to music.
Wow.
It's not that they dislike certain genres. It's that music just doesn't give them any emotional response at all.
Wow. That's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
I can't picture life without the joy and comfort that music brings.
It really makes you realize that everyone's experience, even with something as universal as music, can be so different.
Yeah.
Imagine hearing your favorite song, a song that brings back amazing memories or makes you want to dance. But instead of feeling anything, it just sounds with no emotional meaning.
That must be such an isolating experience.
It must be really tough.
What causes that?
Researchers think it's probably because of differences in how the brain processes sound.
Okay.
Studies have shown that people with musical anhedonia have less connection between the auditory cortex, the part of the brain that processes sound, and the reward centers of the brain, which are the parts responsible for feeling pleasure.
So while music releases those feel-good chemicals.
Yeah, like dopamine.
Yeah.
In most people. Those pathways don't work the same way.
Okay.
For people with musical anhedonia.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It really shows how complex the brain is and how much we still don't know about how our brains experience music.
Absolutely.
This whole discussion has been so eye-opening.
Good.
It made me realize how much music influences us.
Yeah.
Without us even realizing it, shaping our emotions, personalities.
Yeah. Even our social connections.
Sure.
Knowing how deeply music affects us.
Yeah.
I think it's time to talk about how we can use this knowledge to improve our lives.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
We've learned so much about how music affects our brains and personalities, and even met some folks who don't get that same musical joy, you know?
Right?
But now I'm really curious.
Yeah.
How can we use all this knowledge to actually make our lives better?
Well, we can start by being more proactive.
Okay.
Not just listening passively, but actually using music as a tool.
Okay, I like that.
One simple way is to create playlists for different moods and what you need at the time.
Oh, curated playlists. I love those.
Me too.
What are some examples of how to do that strategically?
Okay, so let's say you're about to work out.
Okay.
Instead of just hitting shuffle, you could make a playlist with songs that energize and motivate you.
Okay.
Like with a fast tempo and upbeat, stuff that makes you want to move.
On the other hand, if you're trying to relax after a crazy day,
a
playlist of calming melodies or nature sounds can help you chill out.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I never thought about, like, the science behind it.
Yeah, it's really cool how it works.
It's like having a whole musical toolkit for every situation.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And it goes even further than just setting the mood. There's something called music grounding.
Music grounding, what's that?
Where you, like, really focus on the music.
Okay.
Noticing all the little details. The melody, the rhythm, the instruments, even the words.
Oh, so it's not just having music on in the background.
No.
It's like really being present with it.
Exactly. It's a kind of mindfulness that can help you stay in the moment, reduce stress, and become more aware of how you're feeling.
That's amazing. It makes music into, like, more mindful practice.
Totally.
That's awesome.
And for people who are musically inclined,
yeah,
there's always the option of making music yourself. Oh, yeah. Playing an instrument, singing, writing lyrics.
Right.
All that can be super cathartic and fulfilling.
I've always wanted to learn piano.
You should.
Maybe this is my sign.
It's never too late to get creative.
Yeah, that's true.
And remember, it doesn't have to be about being a pro.
Right.
It's about enjoying the process of making something beautiful.
That's a great point.
And, you know, what about people who are dealing with, like, more serious emotional or mental health stuff?
Yeah, can music help with healing and therapy?
Definitely.
You're right.
Music therapy is becoming more and more popular.
Interesting.
It uses music to address all sorts of things.
Okay.
From anxiety and depression to improving how your brain works.
Okay.
And even communication skills.
No.
It's even used in hospitals and rehab centers
Oh, wow.
to help manage pain and get your motor skills back.
So it's not just about feeling better emotionally.
Right.
Music can actually improve our physical and mental health.
Exactly. Music therapists are trained professionals.
Oh, okay.
Who know how to use music to help people.
This has been such an incredible journey into the world of music.
It has.
We've seen how it shapes our brains and our personalities, and even how it can make our lives better.
We really have.
We only scratched the surface, though.
We did.
Music is so vast, there's always more to learn.
Absolutely.
Before we go,
I
want to leave you with one last thought.
Okay.
Think about your own relationship with music.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? How does it affect your life?
Yeah.
And how can you use music more intentionally to create a life that is more joyful and more fulfilling and more, truly...
Love that.
Maybe you'll make that workout playlist.
Yeah.
Try that music grounding exercise we talked about, or even just pick up that old guitar.
It's a great idea.
Whatever you do.
Yeah.
Remember that music is a powerful tool for figuring yourself out and feeling good.
It really is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of music.
Thanks, everyone.